pre-season at the Saints, handballing to the great Paddy Hill. Paddy's the only person that's been a part of every single one of my games so far. Never saw myself ever playing AFLW, and to play 50 games for the club is pretty incredible. Probably moved over here not knowing if I'd ever play a game for the Saints, and to play every one of them since is pretty incredible.
Was it before?
Netball, yes, little centre wing attack. And then, came from netball into footy, and obviously playing netball, loved the running game of netball, and then to play on a footy field and have maybe quadruple the amount of space to run was very exciting. This one here is our first ever game at Moorabbin in 2020, I believe. Yeah, it was pretty awesome to have footy back at Moorabbin in front of, I think, about 8,500, 9,000 fans. To have, I guess, 7 of our original girls from that inception game still playing at our football club today speaks a lot about our culture at the Saints as well.
What do you remember most from that game?
The fireworks. And I'm pretty sure I had all my possessions were handballs. I was a bit too scared to kick, I think. But I've worked on that since, so that's good. This one here is back in Adelaide. Obviously moved from Adelaide, having teaching there, so most of the people in these photos are actually ex-students of mine. They've done a little Miss Priest, little Guernsey there, so awesome to have the support of them back in Adelaide as well for round 2. Started teaching in 2015, so I moved over after teaching for about 5 years in Adelaide. So I was teaching year 12 when I got drafted, and most of my year 12 students didn't even know I played football. So I went over to Melbourne one day and came back the next day to say that I just got drafted, and they were just mind blown. But I stayed around and helped them finish their exams, and then moved to Melbourne. This one here is a little, this is my dad back in the day playing for Werribee. We can see here that we know who goes harder at the footy, I think. Very pretty for a game of footy there back in the day. Great football, actually came from rugby. And that's me pretty much doing exactly the same pose as him, which I thought was pretty cool.
What was your first sort of exposure to footy when you were young?
I think just playing with my brother and my cousins in the backyard, and absolutely loved the Hawks growing up, actually. And Lance Franklin and Jared Rufford were the ultimate duo. And it's actually pretty funny because when I joined the Saints, Ruffy was working here, and I obviously loved Ruffy growing up, and then in the first few games, Ruffy was sending me videos of his daughter saying, "Go Hannah, go Saints." And my brother is like, "What is your life? It's just incredible." This one here is our first win at Moorabbin. I think we played Melbourne that game, and these are my 3 school friends from Mildura. And it was quite funny actually, because this girl in the middle doesn't really follow footy, and she was just bawling her eyes out at the game and then re-watch the game after and be like, "I'm a footy girl now, I just love footy." So that was really cool too. Oh, this is beautiful, this photo. Nicky Winmar at Vic Park. Nicky actually designed this Guernsey for our AFLW playing group, and this is the first time he was back at Vic Park since 93. And I guess the journey that Nicky's been on since that time, but to have him there, celebrating AFLW, but to have him design our Guernsey was really special as well. This is a memory. My first goal. In the same year, I'm pretty sure Buddy kicked 1,000 and I kicked 1. So yeah, that first goal, 50-metre penalty, straight in front, and I'm actually really surprised it went through. I was so nervous to actually kick that goal, but the 1 goal wonder, so. This one's so cute. This is Pat and Reg, diehard Saints fans. Obviously at every training, every game, both men's and women's. But so important to recognise all of our St Kilda supporters that have been there from the very start, both in the men's competition and the women's competition. Yeah, I think you probably don't realise the impact you're having while you're in it. You're probably too focused so much on the game and preparation and playing the best we can as a team, but then to obviously have so many young girls and boys, the next generation of footballers, but also older generation fans as well, supporting the W, and just really proud of the way that the game has developed and the way that our team has developed too. Yeah. Jarryn Geary, a great of St Kilda Football Club. To have someone of his calibre at the Saints when I arrived was obviously very special. He's just obviously been a really good Saints person, but I think having him, but also a number of other people that were at the club when we first came in, our experience probably wouldn't have been the same if it wasn't for those people.
How did he shape you as a leader?
Just being a good bloke. I think everyone can attest to that. Good country boy as well, Bendigo. Being from Mildura, we probably had that to resonate with as well, and just taught me to be myself. Now this is a fun one. This is us going to pick up the great Grace Kelly from the airport all the way from Ireland. Or when Grace comes marching in, I'm just going to say my mum made that one up and I just decided to paint that on there. Grace has been an awesome part of our football club. I think that's a really important part of being at the Saints, is making sure everyone feels valued when they come here. This one is me and Steely at our 150th celebration. On the MCG, he's obviously just had, I think, a collarbone or a shoulder surgery or something like that. Oh, there's 2 in a row here. The girls on the 150th and also Steely as well. Just so awesome to be a part of that night. It's like one of the best nights I think the Saints has put on in terms of celebrating everything it means to be St Kilda. Yeah, it was just a really fun night and special to have so many iconic St Kilda people there in the middle of the G as well. Oh, this one's a ripper. This one's me and Janome Anderson on her first ever AFLW debut. Tested her with a couple of, school holiday quiz questions, with the last question being who was making their debut. She couldn't believe it. There were tears, there was snot everywhere. But we just really look back on that moment to see how far she's come as well, which is cool.
Tell us a bit about your relationship with Stitch.
She calls me mum because, I don't even know much older I am than her, but it's been awesome to see her grow. And she's just cracking in now, like she's just had a couple of seasons under her belt and her football journey will just explode. Like she'll just start cracking in. It'll be amazing to see the footballer she will be, that she is, but she's just got, an incredible skill set and the sky's the limit for that girl. Livy. I think this was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, Winton Oval last year, brand new deck. I reckon that was, one of the best. One of the best decks I've ever played on, to be honest. We both started our career here at the Saints together, and she was like one of the first girls I got to know at the Saints, and I actually remember her driving us down to our first ever pre-season camp in Portsea. She was driving her mum's big Land Cruiser and hit a couple of curbs along the way and whatnot, so it was very entertaining. She's just been very fun to be around.
And she's housemate for your time too?
Yes, housemate, great housemate. Did a lot around the house, and our relationship will be very strong forever.